Sarah, how are neurotransmitters and hormones affected by light?
Okay, we'll start with ultraviolet light and neurotransmitters that people have heard of, like dopamine, serotonin, and our endocannabinoids. And the UVA light, which appears in the morning, is a very important trigger for making these particular hormones. The UVA light also makes enkephalins and endorphins via another pathway. So these are something which are painkillers and something which gives us euphoria. So we can think of UVA light as opening up our biological pharmacy, and you can basically get high on your own supply. Um, Next color, blue light. Blue light from the sun can decrease the size of fat cells, and this has been studied and there's publications. When we talk about artificial blue light, it's a whole different kettle of fish. This can basically lower our dopamine, so we're more wide open to addictive behaviors. The blue light can tank our melatonin, which means that we don't sleep properly. The blue light can also raise cortisol and insulin and blood sugar. And for people who've heard about insulin resistance or think they might be or struggle with blood sugar regulation, then looking into blue light is definitely something for you.
Wow, I mean, just right off the bat, there you just listed two wavelengths of light, and I'm thinking to myself, this is half the things that people take drugs for. So very powerful connection with the light and the hormones and what's happening in our body.
Yes, absolutely. But then it goes deeper than that because there's things like master hormones, like leptin, which is a circadian hormone that has a link into food as well. Because with leptin, it regulates our appetite, our metabolic rate, but also bone density, immune system, fertility, and fertility is something that is an issue nowadays. And leptin's very interesting because it's not just to do with blue light, which we've just talked about. It's also about getting the correct signals at sunrise to tell your body it's morning and the day's starting. And also, leptin is sort of like an energy accountant or energy sensor. So if you don't get enough light during the day, because humans can act like a solar panel, leptin will sense you haven't got enough energy on board, like your solar panels, or say, or the ones you have on the roof have got a bit old and they're not making as much energy as they should. This can happen if we don't expose ourselves to enough light. And because the body doesn't work on a biochemical level like you think, it's sort of biophysics and electromagnetic, that leptin will sense, oh no, this person doesn't have enough energy on board. And now I'm going to make them eat more food. Even though they've got their own body fat, it's almost like they're blind to it. So looking into light and grounding, because when we do grounding, we can gather electrons and then these can get charged by light. So leptin will think, oh, great, we've got loads of electrons, like having a fully charged battery. And we've got all of these excited and charged with light. Great, we've got plenty of energy on board. We don't need to binge eat or eat high energy, calorie dense food. We've got plenty of energy from our environment, because a lot of people don't know that we only get about 30% of our energy from food, and we can actually glean 60% of it from the environment.
Incredible. I mean, I said this in our full episode, which is the episode that's going to air right after this one. But if there was a pill, or when there are pills that claim to do some of these things, they fly off the shelves. They're best sellers. So for people to understand that they can just use the sunlight and their body as a battery to give different signals through leptin and other hormones to their body to have less cravings, to hold less visceral fat, and have more energy. I mean, these are some of the top things people are looking for. So it's very, very powerful what this light can do. This episode right here is just to give you listeners a taste of the power of light in our body. Sarah and I recorded a full episode where we go more into depth and a little slower and explain how these things are happening, and also really practical, easy ways you can get started to take advantage of this for yourself in a free way that everyone has access to if you're willing to open the door and step outside. So make sure and check out that episode next. Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you, Josh.